Chapter 10, Tradition, by Kaylee Elliott, Alan Williamson, Sophia Paz. Tradition seems to have meant for most Catholics the story of how nothing has changed in the course of 1900 years. They think that it meant that over the course of centuries, nothing has changed. Tradition really designates the movement of passing on the faith from one generation, one time and place to another. So the real tradition is not the story of how nothing has changed, but a story of movement and change and growth and development. Change is vital to tradition, and not changing can kill tradition. The communion of saints is where we enter conversation with the dead, which has never ended. This helps us continue tradition and let it to be rich and vital and be passed down through generations. This also prevents changing the mystery. The magisterium does not mean that there are some persons in the church who by the grace of the office have privileged access to the truth of the faith. Magisterium means that there are those within the community who are charged with maintaining the conversation, keeping it open and alive, never permitting any one generation, any one time or place to separate itself from the community of the saints. As the faith is passed, it must be re-expressed. It must be re-expressed because different times and places require different ways of saying the same thing. This is part of the development of the doctrine. Because of the presence of the Holy Spirit, it requires the entire history of humanity. The mystery requires the full range of human experience, which is why each generation must be willing to enter conversation with the generations before it. We are never free to start fresh in the church. The communion of saints prevents the tradition from developing into strange aberrations and forms of superstition. As a community, we must set out together to explore the richness of the mystery, not just by thinking and talking about it, but by attempting to pray and live it.